for 2, episode number 2. What's up, everybody out there in PSN and the YouTube world? Once again, my YouTube channel is Jose Wojciechowski, as I said it many times before. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Today we will be preparing beef empanadas. It's going to be a light treat, I guess you could say. We're just going to have a good time today and make some quick food and light food. It's really hot down here in Florida and other parts of the United States and the world as well. So you might not want to have a heavy meal. So this is going to be quick and easy. I hope you guys... So we're going to get everything sauteed up and divvied out. And then after we get that done, we'll just pop our ground beef in there and get that going. And while the ground beef is cooking, we are going to set up our avocados. We'll peel them, we'll dice them, we'll mush them up a little bit, incorporate that in with some sour cream, salt and pepper, and maybe some green onions for our avocado creme. I want to get some nice color on my peppers because I would like to get that sugar out of the peppers and the onions. So before they burn up, I want to get them out of the hot pan. And I'm going to go ahead and keep the pan on. I'm not going to wash it out. That onion flavor, the garlic flavor, the pepper flavor, that's perfectly fine. That could stay all up in the pot because right from here, I'm going to throw my meat in. I'm going to cook my meat up. I'm going to season it up with the right seasoning. And then I'm going to drain whatever fat or whatever oil or whatever kind of water buildup that comes from that meat. You don't want to make an empanada with a whole bunch of oil. You want to kind of cook that oil out. You want to cook that meat all the way down. You don't want any liquid in it or else your empanada might break in the frying process. So once again, what we did was we seasoned it up. We have our meat cooking. We seasoned it up with some adobo, some cumin, black pepper, and some Himalayan sea salt. We're going to let that cook down. I want to cook out all that, all the liquid, all the fat. I'm going to try to cook into, get everything incorporated really well. And then I'm going to drain this meat. Because once again, we don't want a wet product going into our empanada shell. So I'm going to crank up the heat just a little bit. I got my fan on, so we shouldn't be too smoked out. I have my cooked veggies right here, which are onions, peppers, and garlic. I also have some cilantro, which we will add in once we incorporate all of our items together. So we'll leave these to the side. And right now we're going to get our mixing bowl out and we will get some avocado working. We have our avocado diced up right here. Just basically get a spoon and scoop it out. And then I'm going to simply take this spoon, or maybe even a bigger one, I'm going to mash it down a little bit. I want the avocado to be somewhat soft, so when we incorporate the sour cream with it, it's going to be just perfect. So we're just going to mash the avocado up a little bit while our meat's cooking. I mean, you can leave it chunky. It's your personal preference. I am going to leave mine just a little bit chunky. I'm going to throw a little bit of cilantro in here. I got a little bit of lime juice from the store, so I'll add that in as well. And then we're we're going to fold in our sour cream. This right here is a very simple but tasty dip, I guess you could call it, for the empanada, or for a lot of things. You know, French fries. It's amazing what you could use to get away from your, you know, your ketchups and your hot sauces, everything that people are accustomed to using. So we're going to incorporate this, and so like I said before, little increments of different things that people are not familiar with or even scared to try will train their palates to really look for those flavors in the future. And by doing that, you're introducing your friends, your family, your coworkers, even yourself to new things. And every day that you sit down and eat a meal, you're going on a culinary adventure. And that's what I like to do in my household. I had a really close chef up in Alaska. His name was Chef Tim Farley. He was an executive chef at Humpy's restaurant in Anchorage, Alaska. And he introduced me to a lot of different hot foods. And I was not really one for too much spice. And that's how he did it, in small increments. So kudos to Chef. So our avocado creme is done. It's very simple. It's very easy. It's a great dipping tool, you know, besides using your average, you know, ketchups or something like that. So let's give it a little quick taste test. Perfect. That's going to go awesome on the empanadas for a dip. All right, guys, so we have our eggs. We're beating it with my lovely anniversary, not my anniversary, my wedding little thing, party favors, I guess you could say. Yeah, June 26th was my 5th year anniversary. And my wife wanted empanadas tonight, and my wife gets what she wants. I am happy to oblige. So I have my eggs beat. I have my meat right here. We're gonna get this all incorporated, all mixed up, all this goodness, and then before we start rolling, well, not rolling, but stuffing our empanadas, we're gonna take a little taste test. We're gonna make sure everything is flowing together. And everybody knows on my show, I always preach about, you know, little mistakes you could fix, big mistakes you have to, you know, start all over. So today we've been putting a little bit of everything in here. So before we get the real product going, we're going to taste it and we're going to know if we need to add anything. We got it all nice and incorporated. Get our little tasting spoon out. Make sure we get a little bit of everything, the olives, the onions, the peppers. We want everything to know what that end product is going to be. That's a money shot right there. We got the go-ahead. We're going to start our empanada. Take your finger, brush it. It's empanada time. And if you're going to do more than one empanada at a time, brush them all. Do this, you know, everything in one shot. If you're cutting your onions, peel them all, and then cut them all, and then put them in the bowl. Don't peel, cut, put in the bowl, because you're putting your knife down. You're stopping yourself from your end goal. You're slowing yourself down. So if you have a project, do everything at the same time, and then move on to the next step. Then you do everything at the same time. So on and so on and so on and so on. Okay? So we have this egged up. Guys, you're going to be folding these, so you do not want to overstuff them, okay? This is probably the longest part of the whole empanada adventure, is to actually folding them. Because the cooking part of them is really not that bad because the meat's already cooked. All you're really doing is cooking that dough. The making of the meat is not that long because you're kind of setting it and forget it, you know? So the actual, the longest and tedious part about it is the actual production of it. So we have our empanadas right here. I will move this so you guys can see it. Not much in each. And if it's too much, take a little out, you know? Do a little, you know, little mistakes you can fix, big mistakes you have to start all over. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to close them up. Make sure that meat is centered as best as possible. We're going to take our fork and we're going to close it up. Try to keep that meat in the center as best as possible because you don't want that to pop out when you're cooking it. And you see why we're using the egg, right? Because that egg is going to act like an adhesive and it's going to stop it from popping out. We're going to pop that right on the cornstarch. Have a little bit of cornstarch in a bowl, ready and available, so you could sprinkle a little bit on top. I closed them all up. I'm going to splash them with a little bit more egg. I'm going to go back and I am going to close these bad boys up. Now guys, in the cooking process, some of them will open. Don't beat yourself about it. It's just, it's physics. It's natural. It is what it is. Keep it moving, charge to the game, and get another one done. This is where the messy part of the job comes into play. Get it all locked down. It'd be awesome if we had a little empanada presser. Three down and God knows how many more to go. Our oil is starting to